Blue Shift Aerospace is a US company located in Maine, focusing on the development of small rockets powered by biofuel. Maine, New England lies near the Atlantic coast, which is to the east and south. From this advantageous location, they can launch directly into polar orbits, something not possible from other US launch sites. For comparison, SpaceX needs to perform a dogleg maneuver from its Vandenberg base to avoid populated areas when targeting polar orbits. The company's mission is to provide rapid suborbital launches and eventually to develop booster rockets. Blue Shift stands out due to its proprietary propulsion system, which offers a smarter, safer and more cost-effective method for delivering payloads into space. Blue Shift made its first launch attempt in January 2021. Although the rocket didn't get to space or even reach a mile in altitude, this launch was a big milestone, proving their rocket design works in practice. CEO Sasha Derry announced that they had recently raised over $1.4 million through private investments and have initiated a $15 million equity round to fund the launch of their suborbital rocket, Starless Rogue, from Spaceport America in New Mexico. Looking ahead, Blue Shift plans to create an orbital launch program off the coast of Maine, aiming to become the only private US site with direct access to polar and sun-synchronous low Earth orbits. Employing just 12 people, the company operates on a modest scale. Derry discovered their non-toxic bio-derived rocket fuel on his brother's farm in 2013. Their test site is located down a dirt road at Brunswick Landing, which was once a World War II naval air station and now serves as a modern innovation hub. This small town setting enables Blue Shift to manage operations on a shoestring budget, with engine tests costing around $40,000. The use of non-toxic fuel means they can conduct tests with minimal safety precautions, allowing spectators to watch from just 1,300 feet away. Blue Shift has also secured a $1.5 million small business loan from the US Air Force to explore how their Marvel engines can be attached to medium-sized launchers by acting as boosters, potentially increasing orbital payload capacity by 20% or reaching higher altitudes. Let's look at the specifics of the rocket they are developing as well as their future plans. Marvel Engine, Modular Adaptable Rocket Engine for Vehicle Launch. Blue Shift Aerospace aims to create a versatile engine capable of generating multiple revenue streams through various configurations. It's a hybrid that combines solid and liquid propellants. It uses proprietary, non-toxic, carbon-neutral biofuel, which the company claims can be inexpensively sourced from farms across America. This biofuel, described by CEO and founder Sasha Derry as the rocket's secret sauce, is made from an agricultural byproduct available globally. The engine uses nitrous oxide enriched with oxygen as its oxidizer. Following the successful initial test of this propulsion technology, Blue Shift is now set to enter the commercial launch market. They plan to advance their propulsion systems to lower costs and are considering the development of their own private launch facility in Maine. Our Marvel technology will significantly decrease the cost of boosters for this category of launch vehicles, asserts Derry. Stardust 1.0. Stardust 1.0 is a small sounding rocket powered by a bio-derived solid fuel to act as a testbed for future Blue Shift rockets capable of launching tiny nanosatellites. It stands 20 foot tall, that's about 6 meters, and can carry payloads of up to 17 pounds, that's 8 kilos, into space. Stardust Rogue. This is Blue Shift's suborbital rocket and will have a single Marvel engine and can provide customers with 6 to 8 minutes of microgravity to conduct research. The company has already received its first purchase order from Max IQ, which will supply research customers on future suborbital launches at an initial annual contract of $300,000. Red Dwarf combines 8 Marvel engines, 7 on the first stage and 1 on the second stage. This will enable Blue Shift to launch into LEO polar orbits. Let's go over the key milestones for this company so far. In January 2021 was the first flight of Stardust 1.0. It took several tries for Blue Shift to launch Stardust 1.0. A launch attempt in mid-January was prevented by bad weather. Then on a second attempt, a pressure issue with an oxidizer valve prevented the rocket from lifting off, even as its solid fuel ignited. "It's not launching," someone said in the Blue Shift's live webcast. A second attempt about 90 minutes later failed when the rocket's igniter didn't kick off as planned. The company also had to deal with freezing temperatures and networking issues during the countdown. But the third attempt worked when, in mid-afternoon, Stardust 1.0 launched off its support rail, flew over 4,000 feet, that's 1,200 meters up, and then deployed a parachute to fall back to Earth. A drogue chute did pop free unexpectedly and was retrieved by two small girls and their parents using a snowmobile, several of which were on hand from volunteers to recover the rocket, Derry said. "We couldn't be more delighted than with what happened today. We want to be the Uber to space, providing that true nano-launch service for nanosatellites. We hope to demonstrate to the world that Maine is open for airspace." In October 2024, they had a successful engine burn test. Blue Shift achieved its biggest milestone yet with the completion of a full duration burn of its Marvel engine. Derry said in an interview with Space.com, "We've had not one but two successful engine tests, and over the course of the last year, we've done a massive overhaul of our test infrastructure. We built our flight-ready 30-foot tall oxidizer tank and a scalable test infrastructure, which enables us not only to test Stardust Rogue today, but also test lighter and lighter weight versions of our Marvel engine technology in a full vertical stack down the road. We've also been working with the Department of the Air Force to enable us to broaden our market opportunities and sell our engines as booster rockets. Our Marvel technology should drastically reduce the overall costs of boosters for this class of launch vehicles." Let's move on to upcoming events for Blue Shift. Derry said, "By the end of 2025, we're looking to do a low-altitude launch of Stardust Rogue with paying customer payloads on board, and we'll probably be doing it from Spaceport America. We will then refly that vehicle to space once we have a commercial launch license with the FAA. If we get our FAA commercial launch license before, then we'll just punch it right to space. But my anticipation is that we will still be waiting. We expect that by mid-2026, we'll have received the license and we'll do our launch to space initially targeting between 120 to 140 kilometers, that's 75 to 87 miles in altitude. After our initial heavy-duty Stardust Rogue launch, we'll also be upgrading that vehicle with more lightweight components and some technology that will be used in our orbital vehicle to increase its performance further. That will enable us ultimately to go to 350 to 400 kilometers, that's 217 to 249 miles in altitude, which means 6 to 8 minutes of zero-G microgravity time for our customers' payloads. Before they attempt a launch, more work needs to be done. More engine testing, including a vertical stack burn of Marvel, during the first half of 2025. Blue Shift also aims to construct its launch vehicle, Stardust Rogue, as well as the launch infrastructure that will be used at Spaceport America during the summer, allowing the company to stay on track to launch late in 2025. After that, the company has plans to operate its own launch site on a floating platform in the Gulf of Maine. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe so you'll see our upcoming videos. We make videos every week covering the space industry, with an emphasis on the smaller space startups that aren't covered so well on other channels. See you soon.